Join us for the Paranormal Rockdown. We kick off the event Friday, July 18th from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Main Street Music in Brooklyn, Wisconsin, where we feature bands Left on Red, Switchblade Saturdays, Etched in Embers, Fiction We Create, January, Again We Rise, and our headliner, Green Jelly. Saturday, July 19th, starting at 11 a.m. at Broadhead Manor in Broadhead, Wisconsin, we have our Paracon featuring Dave Schrader, Sam Beltrusis, Scotty Rourke, Dustin Perry via Zoom, Sarah Lamos, Nick Simons, Kenneth Drake, Stream Beacon TV, Dark Realm TV, and over 30 more great guests you won't want to miss. We have over 40 vendors, speakers, workshops, gallery readings, and so much more. A special thank you goes out to each of our sponsors. Get your tickets before they sell out at paranormalrockdown.com, and we hope to see you at the Paranormal Rockdown.
Brace yourself for the Paranormal Rockdown, July 18th and 19th, 2025 at the haunted Broadhead Manor. Friday night rock out with Dead Amsterdam, Left on Red, and headliner Green Jelly. The music may not be the only thing shaking these walls. Rumor has it the spirits love a good beat. Will you meet one? Saturday, meet paranormal legends like Dave Schrader, Sam Baltrusis, and more. Enjoy thrilling workshops, tasty treats, and a live Zoom Q&A with Dustin Perry. Dive into the ultimate paranormal investigation with expert guides. Or join a spine-tingling seance with Sam Baltrusis. Tickets are limited. Get yours now for an unforgettable weekend of music, mystery, and chills.
11 a.m. to 7 p.m., the Deep South Para-Comic-Con will bring chills, thrills, and much more. Special appearances by the paranormal rocker Keith Age, Blaine Rohan Psychic Medium, Dr. Lee Triana Brown, Professor Matthew Brown, Lilia Bogoeva, Michael and Destiny Fox from Fox Paranormal, creator of American Demon comic Austin Light, producer Gwen Johns, Ben Bracken with built-in Ghostbusters, Ken Gerhardt from Monster Quest and Ancient Aliens, WCW Wrestling NWO Wrestling American Giant Buck Bresner, CCW Wrestling The Masked Assassin Russ Conway, James Stokes from Stranger Things, Voorhees Night of the Beast and many more, Ethereal Voice Paranormal Richard and Colleen Johnson, Jessica Lentz cosplay artist. Come see Litriana Brown's Haunted Object Lab. What do you feel from these objects?
Discharges, you guys run, I'll hold it back, I'll shoot at it, hold it back, don't stare it. But if this thing charges, I can defend myself, you got it. This was very late at night, everybody was asleep. And I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified.
Hey, how's it going? I'm here.
Can you mute your?
Yeah, technical difficulties all around. I am actually at a campsite that is not
wow.
cooperating. Yeah,
Wow.
but it's not bad. Not bad.
Well, at least you have excuses. You know, I don't. You know, there's no excuse for mine. Um, yeah. So where are you camped at?
We are in Pennsylvania and outside Sharon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in that. And my guest, or your guest tonight, my guest, your guest, she is actually the one that I'm traveling with right now to the Paranormal Rock Down. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring her on. I'm gonna put me back so it won't echo.
Okay.
And let's hope for the best.
All right. Fingers crossed.
All right, here you go. Here's Kristina.
Hello, Kristina. Welcome to the show. Oh, I can't hear her.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's pretty quiet though. There might be a way to turn it up.
I don't know.
Yeah, then technical difficulties. Like I said, at least you guys are out in the middle of nowhere. Well, so am I, but so paranormal rock down, huh? Technical difficulties. I feel like everybody's watching me right now. There we go. Oh, her mic's muted now. It has a muted thing. Now it's actually muted. So somebody has to unmute it, I think.
We're trying to avoid a.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. We've just got some spooky lighting going on here because we are using street light to make up here.
Oh, wow. Well, so, okay, welcome to the show. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and about what you do? There's Mr. Brandon. Hi, Brandon. How are you?
Hi, Brandon.
Love that guy.
I am a psychic medium and a paranormal investigator. I'm an author. I'm a show host with All Access Network Television.
Right on.
So yeah, there's all kinds of fun stuff there. For some reason, I'm having a hard time hearing you, even though I have my.
Oh, are you having a hard time hearing me? Okay, let's see here. It's not one thing; it's another, huh? Let's see here.
Right.
Let me get to a better connection here. Let's see here. Let's see if I can turn it up. Or actually, let me activate my hotspot. Maybe my connection's not the best. Let's see. So you guys having fun so far?
Yeah, we're having probably more fun than we should be.
Oh yeah, that's cool though.
Yep.
I saw that Gwen met John Zaffis. That's cool.
Yep, John's a pretty cool guy.
He's an interesting guy. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sure is.
Yep. We got to meet lots of really cool people this weekend.
Oh yeah. Who else did you guys get to meet?
See, there was Danny and Danny, the Radical.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep, and then there was, I didn't get to meet Butch Patrick, did you?
Who?
Okay.
Who was it?
You played Series of the Monsters?
Stop stalking me, he says. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to a faster network, so it might bleep just for a second.
Paranormal Rocket. Chris, we are going to stop least the next week.
Okay, there we go. All right. So who do you say who else did you meet? You were saying?
Let me see. Who else was it? Well, I met a lot of people from All Access.
Right on.
There. Yep. And Showman and the Shaman. Yeah.
Cool.
Guys, and I already knew him, Sam Baltrusis, but I got to see him again. And,
Right on.
there are people there.
That's cool.
All right, hold on a second.
Can you see us now?
Yes, I
Can you
see
hear us, Chad?
Oh, yes, very well.
All right,
Now
Okay, well, we are in the car and we're trying to make this work, but Kristina and I are traveling to the Paranormal Rock Down from Connecticut.
Right.
Yeah. You want to?
So, is there anything unusual about the campsite you guys chose? Like, is it supposedly haunted or anything?
We don't actually know. We just picked the closest one to where we have to be tomorrow.
Right.
So, yeah.
There we go. We'll take that down.
Yeah, we're going to assist.
Now I can hear everybody.
Yeah,
good. So, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So have you guys gone out on any investigations while you've been down there?
I did not. Did you? Did you go on one?
No, honestly, we were too busy, but there were lots of people there. I had showed you the picture of me and John Zappis, and of course we had Bill Slevin.
Did you get?
He was
John?
very. Yeah. We spent a lot of time with John. He was very honestly, he's been very down to earth.
Yeah.
I'll say that. We had Bill Slevin there. We had Dave Schrader. And
he wasn't there, was he?
Yes, he was. Yes, and I told him that we were all sorry about his dad passing, and if he sees this, we are sorry. I told him.
I know Dave. I didn't even see him there.
Yeah. He wasn't as, I'm sure he was grieving. So, there's that. But he was there. Of course, Lee Triana, Matt, myself, Kristina. We had Nathaniel Elwell, who does the Wednesday 9:30 show. Of course, Tom Gormley, who is with us on the serial killer. Blaine was there on the phone. His health problems wouldn't allow him to come. Good Lord, Lauren and Danny Perez.
I think I was doing readings and just didn't get to meet as many people.
Yeah. We had so many people. I'm gonna mess up and miss somebody. Yeah, it was fun.
It was.
So who's going to be at the Rock Down? Is there going to be? I think there were some big names. Dustin Perry's going, isn't
he? He's beaming in.
By Zoom.
Yeah. By Zoom. Yeah.
Okay.
But there's Sam Baltrusis, there's Kenneth Drake, there's help me out.
Oh my God.
There's so many people. You guys, if we forget somebody, I am so sorry. There's just
Larry Eisler is going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone, exactly. Chris is the one doing him and Jamie Lynn are the organizers is their title. But everyone he says. So there's going to be so many people. I can't think of all of them right now.
What kind of activities are you guys going to have? You guys going to have of course some live music and stuff, right?
Right. There's I'm gonna say this from Chris. How many bands are now? 7, 9, something like that.
Yeah, there's going to be music. I know on Friday night. Is it going to be any other time?
I don't know.
Dave Schrader, Sarah Lemos, Josh Purvis.
Yeah, there's so many people that's going to be there. Yeah, me.
Us. Yeah, we'll be there.
You've met Resnick. He's coming. Yeah, there's 7 bands. I did get that right. I remember something. He's Resnick's coming. I think Greg Koss might be there.
Cool.
Yeah, who else is there? Was a whole bunch of people.
Oh my goodness, there's so many people, you guys. Forgive us. We've been traveling. We had we had to get to Connecticut. We've been traveling from there to here, and
did you and John discuss any investigations he's had or anything? Because I also know. Go ahead.
No, he honestly he was basically just kind of hanging out with us and being himself, and we didn't kind of quiz him or anything. I mean, he would talk about this and that, but nothing
Yeah.
specific. To be real with you, it was just nice to spend time with him and not have to be,
Yeah.
you know, telling
Yeah.
everything that.
He
Yep,
looks really
Nate's
Yeah.
oh yeah, Nathaniel's going to the rock down also. Yeah, sorry about that.
Nate Elwell.
Yeah, he's coming to the rock down.
Oh, yeah.
Now you hopefully you and Jennifer hopefully are coming to Deep South, which is August the 8th and 9th.
Yeah. 8th and 9th, yes.
I hope you guys are.
That's
Yeah.
No, what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a bike. It'll be a little road trip, but we'll take it.
Well,
Yeah,
that'll work.
It'll actually be
Nice.
fun.
Oh, you know who else is going EVP? Everything vaguely paranormal out of Texas is coming.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
that's right. They're coming.
Yeah.
That's right.
So are tickets still available for these, right? Oh no, not for the rock down, right? No longer.
You can try. I do not know.
for the
Chris,
next
is there anything still available?
Yeah, I don't know if there is.
I have no idea.
It might be sold
Well-
out. I don't know.
Chris, is it sold out?
I'm trying to plug it for it.
Yeah,
no,
I know.
Yeah.
We've been promoting it. You know, we everybody knew we were going to Connecticut. Everybody knows we're going to the rock down, and we still we've drove 6.5, 7.5, 8 hours already.
So how
Yeah.
far?
Out,
So
and then we got 8 more.
how far from where you're at is the Connecticut? How many?
About 8.
Yeah.
We've driven about 8 hours already to get here. This is our second campsite.
Okay, yeah, it's probably a little further for us. I think it'd be.
Yeah.
He said yes, there are, and only thing low is for the investigation
On Saturday, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What are you guys investigating?
The Broadhead Manor is where it's being held. The investigation part.
Yes.
It used to be I'm gonna get this wrong, Christina. You know,
It was a school.
yeah,
It was a school. Yeah. And it had been abandoned for a while, and now it is
The
open. Yeah.
Manor, is that what it's called? The Broadhead-
I'm sorry, could you say?
What was it called when it was a school? I think I've heard of it actually.
I think it was Broadhead Elementary School, I think.
Is it like that
I think
location
so.
that they don't really know why it's so haunted, but it's really haunted? I was just
Yes.
watching a deal on something. Is that the location?
Yes.
And there's a cemetery
Yeah.
nearby I think might be linked to it, but yeah, they can't figure it out because it was like an elementary school or something.
Right, because nobody actually died there.
Yeah,
There's no record of anyone dying there, so they can't figure out why it's so haunted.
weird. Just the other night I was watching a deal on that
Yeah.
about the location. And now did some YouTubers buy that or no?
No.
Do you know?
I don't think so.
No, there's a couple of guys who bought it there, and they initially, I think it was Bill and Ron, and they
Were they ghost hunters?
no, they had like the Halloween haunted house, and they were looking for a permanent location for it.
Right, okay.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that was the original, and then they found out it was haunted.
Yeah, and it's like one of the most active places they've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's cool coincidences watching a deal about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you guys ever?
One of my favorites.
This is a first time for you guys, or have you investigated it before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, I've investigated it a few times.
You guys get
Yeah,
good
last year I actually I did an event there last year,
Mm-hmm.
stuff? Oh, cool.
and it was a metaphysical event during the day, and then we had a paranormal investigation at night.
Okay, so I guess enough about the events. So now that everything's working properly, knock on wood.
Yeah.
You
We
wanna tell
think.
folks a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been a professional psychic for 25 years. I travel all over the place doing it. I've been doing podcasting, radio for about the last 4 years, I think. And I have a couple of books, Intuitive You and oh my God, come on. Wisdom for the Age of Ascension. So those are both available from my website, which is kristinabloom.com. And my name is now apparently Gwen Johns, which is cool. So
Oh, she's on my computer. I'm sorry.
I switched from my phone to her computer. So oh yeah, and I just spent a couple of weeks in England filming a new TV series that is currently in post-production and looking for a home. So yeah, that's my first I mean, I've been on TV as far as interviews, but that is like my first show. So
you guys filmed a pilot, like a pilot show that was gonna get looking to get picked up, you mean? Something like that?
Right. Yeah.
That's cool. I've always wanted to go there. So did you you probably can't talk much about that though, I'm sure.
No, but I can tell you the name. It's called Into the Void.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's in and then the number 2 and then the void. So
how does the activity over there compare to over here?
You know what? It's interesting because I experience activity every day. It is different. I think the psychometry for me was stronger, probably because there's so much more history in the buildings and stuff, because I've been standing longer.
People claim that it's a lot less sinister than what we have, which, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to believe that, but did you find that to be the case?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. I've been told about a lot of people that it's not as menacing. Like the local people are very superstitious of the kind of activity that goes on, but when it boils down to the activity is not as like aggressive or dangerous or malicious as all that compared. But this is this is going from people that I don't know what there were people that were promoting their own project when they did this. So so you haven't found that to be the case, you don't think?
No, well, and the thing is that we didn't leave it to ghost hunting, right? Like we didn't do just spirits. Okay. We left it open to communication with the Fae community, and we left it open communication with the ET community, and so we reached into a lot more areas than just ghosts.
Okay. Well, but a lot of that stuff's associated with each other, though. Do you think with one activity, there's seems to be the presence of other types of activity, like the UFO phenomenon. It seems to go hand in hand with a lot of the what we consider spirit activity. But there's a ranch nearby here. It's called Base of the Mountain Ranch, but it's very similar actually to Skinwalker Ranch and the stuff that they have. And there's a lot of UFO and also Bigfoot activity, along with the paranormal activity, which I thought was weird. It's all kind of ties in together. Did you guys know?
Well, I think that there's portals everywhere, right? So, there are portals and there are vortexes, and once those get opened, different. I don't know any other word other than entities can use them.
Right. Well, I haven't ever been I have seen a lot of evidence to actually support or to believe in something, and I haven't really been a big, believer in Bigfoot. I tell people, that's not my department. But there's been a couple of investigations, one last night actually, that we went to, where something was throwing large rocks into this water, into this river that was nearby, which was very strange. And there was a lot of activity that people link to Bigfoot that we experienced in the second time going to this place. And there was also some UFO activity, which was weird. So it makes me wonder if it's all linked together, or if there is a such thing as I don't think that the Bigfoot phenomenon is an animal, because I think they'd find some kind of remains or some kind of evidence, but it seems to be some kind of paranormal activity. And did you guys ever experience anything like that over there? Anything that you thought was UFO activity or Bigfoot activity?
Yes.
types that you guys did. Very, very similar
Yes.
stuff. Weird.
Yes.
Just be a link between those. That's why I ask. But so
Right.
So I bet that was something though to see all that history though over there, because we kind of here in the U.S.
Yeah, it really was.
We kind of ripped off because of history. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot of history. It was really interesting to me because I do psychometry, so I touch things and I get energy from them, and
Right.
I could go to the same building and touch different stones and get completely different stories.
Really?
Because of where the stones came from.
Right.
It's not unusual when a building comes down to use those stones again to build a different building, right? So it could have,
and all the bloodshed and trauma over there too. Like I think it's like
Yes.
Ireland. There's not 1 square foot of Ireland that hasn't had bloodshed on it. I think, according to like.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I didn't get to Ireland this trip,
but Europe though.
Yeah.
Period is very old, and it's a lot of history there.
Yes.
And a lot of legends
Yes.
that that bleed over into the New World where we're at, they all came from Europe, and like the colonial people brought their belief systems with them, and a lot of our superstitions and our ancient fears, they belong to that area. So I've always wanted to go see what goes bump in the night there, and see what really the big deal
Right.
is. Yeah. That's on the bucket list.
We did all of our filming during the day.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't do any.
Yeah, we filmed 10 episodes in 5 days.
Oh wow, that's pretty.
Yeah.
10
different locations. Hey, Rez.
What did Rez pop in? Oh, I didn't even see it.
Rez popped in.
So is he down there with you guys? Is that what Gwen said? Or oh, hey, Rez.
No, he's not here with us.
Okay.
He's going to be
at the Rock Down.
Lockdown. Okay. Cool. Neat deal. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy. So what's some of your experiences with the paranormal that actually has stood out amongst other than your top experience that you've dealt with, something that really affected you?
Boy, that's a lot to narrow down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's a lot to narrow down. 2 things pop into my mind right away. When I lived in Washington State, I went on a paranormal investigation at the site of a mass murder, and the murderer is also on the other side and came after me.
Really?
Physically attacked me. Yeah. And I ended up with a sinus infection that lasted for months. It went systemic, which sinus infections don't normally do.
Wow.
So
that goes back to the belief that there's certain people that believe that spirits can actually cause you health problems. So you're one of those that actually, I believe it. I really do. I've seen some bizarre health problems come from multiple people that have been on certain locations. So I'm a believer in that they can do that. So
right.
So you agree with that then, that they can do that?
Well, I did from that point on. Yes, I had never experienced anything like that before.
What was unique about this experience? Was it something negative? You feel very negative?
Well, what happened was we were clearing out the building where this particular person had murdered a lot of people. And so we were opening a portal and releasing all of the spirits who were stuck there because they had been murdered there. And the murderer got in my face and screamed, and I could feel saliva coming and hitting me in the face.
Weird. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I know.
So did other people hear that? No. I've had an experience kind of like that where there was something that said something into my ear at one point, and I could feel the breath of when it was speaking,
yes.
Yeah. So did other people hear it?
Right. Somebody witnessed it. Yeah.
So it wasn't something that just you. It wasn't a personal like experience, because like when this thing happened to me, like everybody heard it, like when it happened.
Yeah, there were
Yeah.
people that witnessed it. Yes.
Yeah. That's bizarre.
Another, I guess, another experience that really stuck with me was when I was doing a paranormal investigation, and a loved one of mine came through the EVP.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I could clearly hear the voice. So there was no doubt as to who it was.
Do you think do you think there are things that that do things like that to maybe psychologically harm you that are not what they appear to be? Do you think?
No, I don't think that was the case in that. I mean, I think it can happen. In that case, I don't believe it was that.
So did it have a I mean, how did that impact you when that happened?
It was an emotional impact. You know, it was
Right.
It was in the same place where we had their memorial service.
So you don't think there's no possibility something like that could have done that just to emotionally upset you?
No, not in this case. No.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of things out there that do that kind of stuff. Just usually.
I'm aware of that, and I know that it can happen, but in that particular case, I don't believe that was the case. It was just very emotional.
Have you ever heard your voice on like the ghost box or something mimic you personally?
No.
I've only had it happen a couple of times. That's weird when that happens. Like it'll be your voice. Like,
yeah, I haven't had that.
Right. Well,
when I was in England, this was another thing that really impacted me. Was I was speaking to a spirit who had died of a drug overdose like 40 years ago. And the next day I woke up with track marks on my arm.
Oh, that's weird.
Like needle marks on my arm. That was really weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
That surprised me.
So, like, I mean, when it comes to things that are paranormal, you never see it all. Like, I mean, I've talked about this a lot.
Right.
Like, just when you think you've seen it all, you see something new.
Right.
I used to think that things like, moving statues was something that never happened until I witnessed it and stuff like that. It's amazing, like all the different, some of it's tricks and some of it's, things that scare you and get your attention. But, so for those out there, and I've been asking this the last couple of shows, like, do you think that, going out and ghost hunting, do you think that's a safe hobby for people to jump into?
I think that it is a safe hobby only if people protect themselves energetically. Right. If they're in it for the reasons of, okay, I'm going to back that up. If they're not in it just for the jump scare, you know what I mean? Like if you want to go scare yourself, ride a roller coaster. You don't need to go messing with the paranormal.
Right. Well,
because there are so many things in the paranormal we don't understand, and to go out and do something like that.
Oh no, I agree with that.
Just for the scare.
100%.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Well, I think a lot of people think that it's something that is safe and harmless, and it's really not. But as far as like
it's not.
Yourself, I mean, how do you confidently protect yourself when you're dealing with potentially negative forces? Like, I mean, how do you know that, like, what you're using is protecting you?
Well, I have a very strong relationship with my spirit guides, and I always make sure that, I feel the connection to them. I am a very concrete thinker. Right. And so when I think about putting protection around myself, it's like I put myself inside of a chrome ball, like a trailer hitch, or, something like that, where that's a very hard thing that couldn't be broken easily. And it's like a two-way mirror, where I can see out, but they can only see themselves. And I take my spirit team with me, and I trust them to take care of me.
So do you think do you think that it's like more of a psychological thing with protecting yourself, or that they're absolutely
energetic?
Yeah.
And the thing is that we tend to, how do I say this? If you think you're going to go into an investigation and something's going to attack you, you're just asking to be attacked.
Well, sure.
Right.
Right.
You know,
No,
and
no, that's true, that's true.
so,
well, like people that are afraid of like everything, bringing the devil into their home, you know, of course the devil's going to try.
right.
You know, yeah, I agree with that 100%.
You know,
But,
if you go looking for demons, you're going to find demons. If you go looking for loved ones, you're going to find loved ones. And I'm not saying that there aren't mimics or anything like that, because there are. But
I've seen a lot of people that thought they were looking at their loved ones that ended up being something the complete opposite of. So now, there are things out there that will deceive you. And
I mean, okay, that can happen, but I want to make sure that people understand that it doesn't happen in every case.
Oh, no.
You know what I
Very
mean?
Very rarely, but you would not want to be
Yeah.
the individual that does end up dealing with that. There are real dangers involved, and I've seen a lot of people that thought they were protecting themselves, but when it boiled down to it, the circle of salt didn't protect them, the burning of sage didn't protect them. That what they were dealing with, they had no defense against. And I think that needs to touch on a little bit when you talk about all these harmless spirits. Well, there are some out there that are beyond harmless, and that I know it's not a popular thing to talk about demons, but these things are real and they're out there. And as far, okay, how now my question is, being a psychic medium, how do you know that things aren't able to give you false messages directly like they are everybody else that isn't psychic? Like, how do you know for sure what you're dealing with?
Because I have a strong relationship with my spirit guides and I trust them. And if I'm doing a reading for somebody, they either validate or they don't.
Right.
And if somebody validates the information that's coming through, then I have to trust that it's true. Well,
but there are things around that have watched us all, that know things about us that only we would know, and only our loved ones would know. So there are cases where the messages they were giving, they were there to witness it, but it's not the source that we think it's coming from. I mean, because I don't know what it's like to be sensitive. Is there any way of like being able to tell the difference between those two?
Okay, if you're talking intellectually, probably not. But those of us who do it can feel the difference. We can feel if it's true or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Yeah, is if it's a true, as if you can tell the difference between something that's like evil intent and not. That's what I'm curious about.
Yes.
So I've always wanted to ask that question. Never asked it, you know, because I've talked to psychics.
I can tell the difference, but I've got a lot of experience. So, you know, could I tell the difference when I was new at this? Probably not as easily.
Well, there's people that think that if you know what you're doing, you can do, dabble in things that are dangerous in the paranormal. Like, do you feel safe to use Ouija boards? Like, a lot of people are taboo about that, but I've personally seen a lot of negative things.
Ouija boards is
a lot of, and I have my theories on why, but it seems to be a form of communication that has a lot of negative repercussions, and whatever you're talking to, it gives it more of a foothold in your personal life. And this one person was saying, well, you got to know what you're doing to use a Ouija board. Well, it'd be like saying you can jump off a cliff. You just got to know what you're doing, So I tend to like, I would like to know how people can be very confident in that belief system that you know what you're doing. Because I mean, if something of a higher intelligence is going to lull you into being a victim, it's not going to tell you. It's going to victimize you before it does. So
just like people.
Exactly, same thing. Yeah. But there have been. I mean, it's an interesting topic because the negative part about the supernatural isn't really discussed much, and I think it should be, because there's a lot of people out there that I think could potentially be in danger because they don't understand the actual risks involved.
Right.
Yeah. And, and of course, a lot of shows don't help that, which the shows are good because they actually opened up the public to what we do. Because before, they just thought we were all a bunch of nutcases, that did this, but at the same time they spin it in a way to where everything's demonic, or there's no nature, or there's no risk involved. And do you have any messages for people that are the people who watch the TV shows and think that's how it is?
Well, first of all, for a 1 hour TV show, how many hours of filming is there?
Oh, there's a lot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably
Yeah.
about,
Okay. Right. So when somebody watches a 1 hour TV show, what they're watching is the edited version of the most eye-catching, most attention-catching stuff that was filmed.
And even beyond that, beyond the eye-catching stuff, it's like I know for a fact there's one TV show that they didn't even really go in the locations. They went in a very short amount of time and filmed a lot of, the traveling to the location, and really didn't investigate it. But it's like, it's not reality. Like they say, reality TV. It's not a good depiction of what we do. That's not.
I agree.
Jeez. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah.
And
it's, this very interesting. Oh God, come on. People know I do a show this time. I don't know why they try to call me. It's not very accurate. Yeah, a portrayal of what we do. I mean, as far as like the excitement of it, it's exciting to investigate. There's a lot of adrenaline involved moments, but it's just I used to have a real problem with one of the things that one of the TV shows used to tell people, like one of the really old, like continuously running ones, where you got nothing to worry about. They go to a location and spend very little time in it, and then they'd be like, well, you got nothing to worry about. And it's like, well, you can't really, like you were saying, you can't really get an idea, I think, of what's going on in a location by visiting it for a few hours and then moving on to the next. It's more complicated than that. I mean, what do you feel about people that give people the wrong advice during like conduct investigations and tell them, hey, you know what, this is or is not what's going on? And I think a lot of people are more worried about telling you what it is rather than analyzing the evidence that they capture, or actually looking at the facts of the matter. Either, like I said, they want it to be something really negative or nothing at all. Like, what do you think about that whole aspect of when people conduct investigations?
I think that it can go both ways, because are there things that can hurt you when you're paranormal investigating? Yeah. You could walk in the dark and trip over something and break your leg. I mean, that's another danger of paranormal investigating. That's why we have release forms, stuff like that. But there's also positive that comes through. And so there does have to be that balance. And I think that, if we focus completely on positive or completely on negative, then we're not understanding that the spirit world is still people without bodies, right? So if we're dealing with spirits, we're dealing with people or animals who just don't have physical forms anymore. So you're still going to be dealing with the gambit of behaviors and attitudes and everything else that comes along.
Right. And a lot of what develops people's opinion is the experiences they've had. So you haven't had anything. Have you had any very like extremely negative experiences with dealing with certain spirits?
Well, just that one that I told you about at the murder house, at the the site of the murders. As far as super negative, I think it depends on really how you understand it too. I mean, because I'm a spiritual advisor, so sometimes that means advising spirits and helping them to complete a process, helping them to work through something that they need to let go. I help people to get closure from both sides, so it's more complicated than is it good or bad? Right.
So does that aspect of it keep you pretty busy? Do you have a lot of people that reach out to you for closure? And
yes,
you do. Yeah, well,
communication and closing.
that usually is the biggest part about dealing with a loved one that you lost, because I like to think of our loved ones as moving on to a better place. Like a lot of the negative aspect of this reality, I think, for a lot of those people. I mean, do you believe that everybody remains here in like a limbo state, or what is your personal opinion on that?
No.
You think
I believe that, a lot of times in my experience, and I can only talk about my experience, okay? A lot of
Right.
people hang around until the funeral or memorial or celebration of life or whatever it is over, and then they move on. A lot of people do that. Some of them that stay behind are stuck, or maybe they're stuck because they still are working through something. A lot of times I have found that when people die quickly and traumatically, they oftentimes are not aware that they're even outside of their bodies for a while.
Right. There's like a residue or something that remains there.
Right.
Yeah, I actually witnessed that a couple times. Yeah, but that's something does that usually go away in your experience? Like, does it last for a while and then kind of dissipate?
It depends. I mean, it's every case is individual, and that is the one thing that has really been something that has been important for me to learn. Every case is individual. Right. If somebody is still trying to figure out what happened, they're going to keep replaying it over and over and over again until either they figure it out on their own, or someone else steps in, either from the other side or this side, and helps them to understand what happened so that they can release and move on.
So, like these cases where people think that there's a loved one that's communicating with them, do you keep in contact with them to see like what happens, like after the fact, like after the initial diagnosis and all that? Do you ever keep in touch with them? And the reason why I asked that is there was someone that was very critical of the evil spirit concept, and they were a school teacher, and they're talking about some stuff that they experienced in their home, and this individual that the person was with at the time, they started to see like these messages written in the walls and everything, and they actually have pictures of them, so they're real. And the activity kept ramping up and being more sinister and more sinister. But they were criticizing me for thinking, well, maybe that'd be some negative. And then I'm like, well, whatever happened with the situation? Like, well, we had to flee our home and leave our belongings behind. And it's like, well, that would coincide with a negative experience. My whole point is, like, there's a reason why people are very afraid of this activity. It's because there is a large portion of it that is not positive. I mean, I've witnessed a lot that started off to be a loved one or a child or something that ramped up and was something that it was not. And it makes me wonder, like, how common, there's a big argument about how common these negative cases are. How common do you think these cases are of negative activity? Where it's something...
Again, I can only speak from my experience.
Right. From your experience.
And my experience is that I help them. Like, that's my job. I help them to find peace. I help them to make sense of things and move on. And I can base this on follow-up with several clients over the years, that once that has been done, it's more peaceful. Like, their homes are more peaceful, their lives are more peaceful. Right. And when they do come back from the light to visit, which they can do once they've, gone and done their life review and whatever, that it's typically very positive messages, unless they're giving a warning, like you're in danger, or, you've got a health thing going on, you should probably go get that checked out, or, something like that. But I can only speak from my experience, and that has been more of my experience.
Well, that's I noticed that there are some things that do that. They seem to not escalate, past a certain point, but then I've seen cases where the activity escalated once it was given attention to it. So it's a very complicated thing, the paranormal. I think
it is.
Very complicated. And it's something that there's a lot more work goes into it, and a lot more analysis than what people realize. And it's, our jobs are not easy, but they're very fulfilling too at the same time.
Right. And we don't all have the same job. I think that's really important for people to understand.
No, we don't. No.
Yeah, just because we work with the paranormal doesn't mean we're all doing the same thing.
No, of course, yeah, of course. Like I said, from my approach, there's no there's just the scientific approach. We don't do the. I've never worked with mediums or anything like that. Not because I have anything against them, just never have.
Right.
Yeah, and so a lot of it is, but a lot of the cases that we deal with, people contact us because they're dealing with something that is frightening them, and it's like, and so
Right.
it has a negative tone to begin with, and a lot, and a lot of the cases it's not what they think it is. But there are some cases that really stood out that are ones that I'll never forget. But anyway,
Right.
yeah, so it's a completely different aspect, and that's why I'm asking you all these questions. Is for somebody that doesn't understand, that doesn't know what it's like to have those abilities, because I mean it's like if you already had the answers to it, the scientific equipment wouldn't really come in, proves being something useful there, and it's just interesting. I believe people have that ability, and it's just it's a fascinating gift to have.
It is. I like working with teams with the equipment, because when we work together,
validates. Yeah.
Having a medium who can talk with the spirits that are, flipping switches and making lights go on and off or whatever, can give context to what's actually happening.
Right. So, so when you say spirit guides, now do you know are these entities that make their name, like their identity, like make you aware of that, and like what their intentions are, who they are? I've never really asked that question before, but I'm kind of curious about like what these, like how these spirits like communicate with you, like and who they are to impact. I mean, are they like assigned to you, like before you're born? I mean, how is that? I mean, what's your understanding of that?
My understanding of that is that when we come into this life, to any life, we come with at least one spirit guide, sometimes two, that is with us for our entire lives. Now, that may be somebody from a past life. It may be someone who's assigned to us. I don't really know how they get assigned to us. I'm not really clear on that. There are a lot of different theories on it. So, the soul group theory, where some are on earth and some are on spirit, and next time they switch places, that's kind of a soul group theory on that. There are a lot of different theories on where they come from. So, what I have noticed, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. There's a lot of evidence that people that they're gathering. I mean, that they're able to prove through quantum mechanics that there's like these many realities exist, and it's just interesting that
Right.
that a lot of this stuff coming out, now and talked about, very openly about, these different possibilities of what happens when we die, and or even like the concept of that we're stuck in kind of a situation where that we don't really die, we just jump to another reality. There's like all these different theories on which have never been talked about before, and it explains some stuff, but some stuff it doesn't explain. Like even some of the biblical stuff, like when it talks about like there being everlasting life. Well, if you just jump from reality to reality, it would be everlasting life technically, but not in this term that like we would perceive it. So it's odd that some of these breakthroughs in scientific of forms of research are validating some of these claims that paranormal researchers have claimed all along. So what do you think? What is your opinion on what happens when we pass over? I mean, I know that's a tough one, but
well, it's a tough one because it's individual. I mean, I think that there is a theory that when we go into the light, we're just getting stuck in a karmic loop, and we just keep living more lifetimes.
For that one, that there's a soul harvesting. Is that one? You talking about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. buy that one as much as some of the others, but maybe because the whole the ambition after your soul, it kind of matches that, but that's kind of like a age old theory, if you think about it. But and then but that's more based upon that there's extraterrestrials doing it or something. I mean, some of these things are off the wall, but I mean, what do we really know? We really don't know if any of it's true or not.
Well, that's the whole point. We don't know.
Yeah. So, but what do you think?
That's
about
really the whole point. We don't know. We really don't know. There are many theories. There are, and we can buy into whatever theory feels right to us, but we aren't going to know until we're not in these bodies anymore.
But I guess the question is, do you think there's something happens?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that there's something that happens based on a couple of things. First of all of the mediumship readings I've done, in the thousands of them at this point, and that people can validate the information that's coming through.
Right.
Okay. The other reason that I feel that there is, or that I believe that there is something after this life, is because I've had 4 near-death experiences, and every single one of them has been different.
Right.
But it has been an experience on the other side.
Right. That's something that has been, that to me has been very well documented, that there's something that happens with people that die or brought back or have near-death experiences. So what's your opinion on the whole, just controversial one, the whole Christian aspect to the whole thing? The belief system that there's a God and there's angels and there's demons and all this. Do you have an opinion on that?
Well, first of all, it's not the only one that has those beliefs. They're different flavors, but they're
kind of, well,
yeah. I mean, if you look back at philosophy and history of religions, it's just replaying other older religions.
Right, but people mistake something. The biblical doctrines were written at a certain time period, but all these other interpretations would actually be originating off the sources that Christianity was written about, like the global flood, things like that. I mean, people mistake that for being, every religion has a flood. Well, yeah, because a flood happened, and just because it was written about it at a later date doesn't mean that it was not the one that the biblical doctrines are writing about. So,
if you're asking for my personal opinion,
yeah,
I put absolutely zero credence into it at all, and I was raised Christian.
Well,
but I don't believe, I don't buy into any of it.
But you'll buy into anything else, though, right? Like anything else is possible, but not that.
Well, I'm not saying it isn't possible. I'm saying, if you're asking my personal belief, that's not my personal belief.
Well,
it's one of the newest religions on the planet. Why are we referring to one that's only 2,000 years old when there are other religions that are much, much older?
Well, I mean, that's, again, it's a misconception. Well, because the belief in Christianity came at a certain date when Christ walked the earth, supposedly, but the belief system was there before Christ.
Yes,
actually, yeah. So like it's also very ancient, and there's a lot of them are very similar. It's just there's a controversial, like, I mean, I don't judge anybody based upon what they believe as far as a personal belief in religion, but it makes me wonder, like, because I think a lot of people don't understand that, like, just because the ancient Babylonians had this same similar belief system, it doesn't mean that it came from the ancient Babylonians. It's just there is almost like a reluctance to consider Christianity. So I'm not at all a Christian. I'm not at all saying that. I'm not even close. I don't go to church because I don't want to. I don't want to be judged or looked down on. So with that said, but it seems like that there is a lot of negativity when it comes to Christianity based upon everything else, and it's kind of strange that is. But anyway, and it is, the belief in Christ is a more modern concept, but it's not really. If you think about it, it predates that. But anyhow, these are interesting questions. These are tough ones. I'm sorry for asking these. But
No,
but you know,
you're fine. I welcome tough questions, you know, and it's like I have contact with Christ consciousness. Is that the same thing as the church teachings? Not in my world, but
I don't think so.
for other people, maybe it is.
Well, I think that organized religion actually doesn't shed a good light upon Christianity.
Right.
And that's my opinion. I think that they claim to go according to what the doctrine says, but yet they don't obey. They don't follow that. They don't teach that. No, I feel there's a lot of false teachings that goes into the biblical doctrine, but and I feel that that's not, you know, if there's one show that I was on years ago with this individual who was one of the actually an archbishop or something, one of the Catholic Church, was telling people that their religion is close as Christ and all this. Well, the fact of the matter is, to no offense to anybody that's Catholic out there, just the indoctrination that brought in from the Catholic Church, like the indoctrination of worshiping idols, is completely forbidden. Like, I don't think it's wrong to put something, you know, around your neck or to have a tattoo on your arm that you think, you know, represents Christ, whether it's a cross or something. But if you do a little history lesson, the cross is not a Christian symbol.
Right.
Yeah, no,
I agree.
Yeah, and all that is that stands for the male sex organ. So you got Christ tacked to a big old fat schlong, you know. But that's not. I mean, if you don't see it like that, that's fine. But you know, there's a lot of because what it boils down to is the Catholic Church wanted to bring people or masses into their military, basically. And the church was established by somebody named Constantine, which was a pagan at one point. Then he saw that this God Christ was picking up momentum, so he decided to you know, switch over to this newest trend that was going on. And and they started threatening the pagans, and, oh, hey, if you don't do what we want, we'll start burning you guys at the stake and doing whatever. And they couldn't scare them into, you know, giving up their culture. So they said, hey, well, welcome.
Hey, Chad. Yeah. I hate to end it, but we're gonna have to end it.
Okay. Well. Anyway, yeah. So that's where a lot of Roman Catholic holiday things came from. Like, you could do a whole show on it, like the Christmas, the thing of Saturnalia. Well, the thing with Saturnalia pagans is they viewed the pine tree as being a form of everlasting life. The reason why it's in the dead of the winter is that they thought that they had to pray the sun god back to life. Lots of facts like that. So, it's not according to the biblical scripture. So, but that doesn't mean it's wrong to celebrate Christmas. I haven't really got into this enough, but anyhow, hey, I love the conversation. We need to have more like this, talking about
absolutely
that are strange and, you know, mixed feeling. I mean, I don't really have a absolute opinion on anything. I just research everything and see where the evidence points you. But anyhow, thank you. Good show.
Thank you for having me on.
Have a good time. Okay.
Oh, we are.
All right, Ted.
Good night, Gwen.
Y'all have a good night. Go ahead and end it up for us.
What's that now?
Tell everybody good night.
Good night, and thank you for tuning in to Chasing Nightmares. And good guest. I guess you picked another good one.
Thank you.
Have a good night, guys. Don't let the boogeyman get you. All right.